Johnson. It's time for another episode of Good Luck. High five. I'm one of your hosts, Megan.
And I'm one of your hosts, Bob Johnson.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering. Whether you're sitting at home playing Arena, you're going out to your LGS, you're hanging out playing with friends, or however really you're playing.
This is episode 327, by the way, for anybody who's counting.
Yeah.
And we are still in London.
Ooh, fun. It will...
That sounded number one, so insincere, and number two, like you were surprised by that fact. And if you thought last episode was delirious, we just did Jaeger bombs in a pub.
That was like 2 hours ago.
We're down off
Mostly,
the bomb high.
I'm incoherently tired.
Yeah, I mean, jet lag doesn't leave you for a long time, actually.
I'm just tired.
It's true.
It was a long weekend.
We did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of being here so far?
Hold on. I'm just realizing I don't know where my passport is.
Oh my God. That is a laugh.
That sounds like a joke.
You hear in the background.
You cover for a second and I'm going to go check my bag.
Go check. I think that's important just to have peace of mind. The other laugh you hear in the background is none other than the Biscuit Jesus, who you might remember from Grand Prix coverage doing Life Totals, long hair, looks like Jesus and a biscuit had a baby, who's being our PA today, helping us with our camera and stuff in our Airbnb here in the lovely city of London. You can come say hi, BJ. If you're watching the video, he's going to come and look in the lens really creepy-like right now. We took him in with the kindness of our hearts because he had nowhere to stay tonight. But yeah, we've had a great time. Megan just found her passport, so all is right with the world.
Oh, I found it.
Oh, what a rush, as my mom used to say. So yeah, what's your favorite part about London?
Oh, wow.
About what we've done here?
I love the tube.
The tube is great.
I love the London Underground.
Yeah.
I love me a good public transit system.
Amen.
Which maybe sounds ridiculous, but is also just so true.
It is. It makes all the difference when you visit somewhere or live somewhere.
It really does. It's just like you get to travel around so easily.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Yeah,
We've done some cool stuff today. We went to the Tower of London. Megan went to the National Gallery.
Yep.
We just came
I went to the Science Museum last week.
Natural History Museum.
Yes. I spent part of the week hanging out with nothing other than Elantris.
Yeah.
That was Athena in person. And Carolyn, Mighty Linguini on Twitter.
Yes.
We had high tea.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was great.
Did you drink with your pinkies up?
Yes.
Great.
It was a delight. We all had so much tea. And then there were like 3 layers of desserts.
That's awesome.
Yes. It was, and they were all good. Not all desserts. The bottom one was sandwiches. And the middle one was scones, which is appropriate because a scone is not quite the top dessert and it's not quite the bottom sandwich.
That is
It's right in the middle.
Great way to describe a scone.
Yeah, right?
And you know what? The British do actually love their tiny little sandwiches with the crust cut off and weird stuff in the middle.
And it's so good.
I didn't think that was like, actually, I thought it was a stereotype, but it is a real thing that they like.
It's a really
it's everywhere.
great, real thing.
We should tell you what's happening on this show before we get any further off the deep end. So yeah, we're going to talk about Mythic Championship London, which happened this past weekend, where we are and why we are here.
Yes.
We're also going to talk about War of the Spark, Limited and Modern, because those were the formats at the tournament. And we're going to do Flavor Text Theater for the first time with War of the Spark.
That's right. We're going to do War of the Spark packs. I'm super excited.
Yes.
We will be doing movie pitches, as usual, our first Flavor Text Theater format for a new set.
Yes. But before we do any of that, huge, enormous British thanks to everybody who supports us on patreon.com/GLHF.
A polite cricket clap for all of you.
GLHF magic. It's
do you know what?
thing.
A special shout out. A special shout out. Anyways, keep going. You keep going and I'll come back around to what I was trying to say with normal words.
Thank you to everyone who became a new patron.
Yes.
We get notified every time, and we both personally look at the emails when that happens and send you a thank you note, because it really does mean the world to us, and it actually does keep our show happening and on the air for you. It's not just something, ethereal off in the void that, somebody else will do that or whatever. No.
It's real live people.
It really matters when it's you.
Warm-blooded human being or a cold-blooded lizard person.
Yeah. We'll take them all.
Exactly. We will take them all. I was going to say special shout out
to,
we met so many wonderful listeners of the show this past week, which was so cool.
It was awesome.
Because we don't always get over to this side of the ocean all that often, of the Atlantic Ocean.
The pond, as it were.
But we did, and it was so great to see people that we've missed out on seeing because we don't live in the right spot.
Thank you so much, everybody who said
and
hi.
And special shout out to Kay and to Hey Worst Artist.
Yay!
Who we got to see in person.
Yeah, that was great.
It was delightful.
Yes, agree. So yeah, you can be as cool as them if you support us on patreon.com/GLHF magic.
Yes.
And cardkingdom.com/GLHF, a little bit shorter URL there. If you want to buy anything magic related, you need some more of the spark.
URL. I'm using this remote as a fake second microphone.
I was just like, is Megan using that as a yep, she is. She sure is. We've been watching some British TV, and it is a delight. So many home shows, buying homes. I love
there's
it.
apparently a show that, and you knew about this before coming here.
What one?
The one where it's people watching shows.
Yes.
You watch people watch shows.
Yes.
And I saw an ad for it, on a commercial break of another show, and I was just like, this can't be the ad that I'm seeing.
It is.
It must be
it's real.
I must be misunderstanding it.
It is a real show.
It is a real show.
But people wonder why we watch Twitch, so, there you go. I think it's kind of the same.
watching, what? I'm watching a person play a game. You're right, it's not that different.
I still think it's worse. Okay, for the record.
I agree that what they're doing is worse.
But yeah, if you want War of the Spark stuff, booster packs, boxes, singles, whatever you want, cardkingdom.com/GLHF. You can ask for tokens in your order by saying good luck, have token. You can ask for a sticker, fast shipping, great customer service. They have an awesome blog that you can read, and they're just like super friendly people who really believe in making the game better and more welcoming for everyone. So we really recommend using Card Kingdom. Yeah.
Mythic Championship London happened.
Yes, it did.
All right.
So modern.
Moving on.
War of the Spring. What's up, Megan? What's up? Tell me your thoughts.
Oh no.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm just tired.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like
I thought we told them everything we have to. It happened.
It happened. The end.
Now you got the news.
The thing is,
this isn't the news show.
It was a weird format because it was modern, which is unusual, not completely unusual for a pro tour or whatever.
That's right. The last one was a year and change ago. It was last January 2018 in Bilbao.
Yep.
And then there was a modern seat, obviously, at Pro Tour 25th anniversary in August.
Minneapolis.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's been a hot minute since it's been modern, but it's also kind of weird because this new set got released and it's not standard.
Yes.
And also it's weird because it was pre-release basically for War of the Spark draft or sealed or whatever you played that weekend, and the players had to draft War of the Spark. Many of them told me it was literally their first time ever doing it.
Yeah.
So
some of the testing teams try to make playtest copies.
Yeah.
And pretend draft it.
Yeah.
Carolyn was talking about how she had been putting them together into fake booster packs.
Cute.
For their team.
I mean, what else can you do?
Draft with exactly. I don't know.
So yeah,
there was also someone who did their first draft of all time on Sunday at the tournament. Did you hear this?
On Sunday?
Yes. So because of a flight mishap.
Yeah.
Someone who was in the Mythic Championship had missed the draft.
Okay.
On Saturday morning, the first one. But then they did really great in modern.
That's so weird. I didn't know this happened.
They went 5-1 in the modern round.
What?
And they managed to day 2'd with a 5-4 record. And then they arrive in the hall on Sunday.
Great job, that person.
They arrive in the hall on Sunday, and it's just their very first draft of all time.
That's really great. I love that story.
Isn't it pretty great?
Yeah, I talked to Paul Rietzel, who on Saturday had 3-0'd his draft. Friday had 3-0'd his draft, and he told me that was his first time ever drafting it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, good job.
Paul Rietzel.
Way to read the cards and know what they do and be good at evaluating them in a vacuum, kind of in this new format.
Can you imagine being in a vacuum? trying to draft.
It would be
it's
noisy.
It's in one of the canisters and the cards are just all spinning around.
That is a chaos draft if I've ever heard of a chaos draft.
It would be like, it's like one of those cubes and they blow the money.
Yeah, but it's cards.
And you're trying to grab money.
And one of them's a Black Lotus.
Yes.
I held a Black Lotus this weekend.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, where?
At the GP. I went over there to film a video and I went up to a vendor and I thought for sure they would say no. But I was like, this would be a funny shot if I'm holding a Black Lotus. So I'm like, hey, could I hold that Black Lotus? And he's like, which one do you want, alpha or beta? And I was like,
oh my God.
And then he took it.
Touch the real card with your real hands?
My real hands. He took it out of the thing and I held it. Unbelievable.
Wow.
I was so terrified. I'm sad that video never ended up anywhere because it was
sorry.
like, the look on my face was probably
You
pretty
held
priceless.
a lotus.
Yeah, I held the lotus.
That's pretty cool.
So the
War
person
of the Spark Limited.
who won should we talk about what
No,
we think about it
let's-
first?
no, let's talk-
Okay,
let's come back
bigger
around.
picture. Bigger picture.
Circle back around to it.
The whole winner of the whole thing was
Yes.
Eli Loveman.
Yes.
First top 8.
Of California?
Gets there of California.
That's right.
Playing humans in modern.
They were telling me like someone was relaying the story that like he and like his teammates are a bunch of like Californians.
Oh yeah,
And so
he definitely looks a California dude.
And they'd just be like, but whatever about everything. And so like when he got the trophy and all of his friends
Yeah.
rushed him on stage and they're all like, you won the Mythic Championship or whatever.
California lifestyle.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
it was a SoCal battle in the finals too from Matt
yeah.
Sperling in California as well.
He lives in San Francisco.
In San Francisco.
NoCal.
I don't want to say San Fran because they get mad. SF or San Francisco
Or San Francisco.
or the San Francisco treat rice-a-roni.
Or you can just call the entire city Rice-A-Roni.
I think that's probably fine.
He's from
I think they're
Rice-A-Roni.
fine with that. But
Yes.
yeah, he was playing humans, and like if you had said to me, Maria, what's going to win this tournament, I would not have said humans to you.
Me neither, because I would have been really hoping that it didn't.
Well, you hate humans.
I really
so-
do. Humans is dumb. Do you know what I saw happen?
What?
I saw people make other people instant speed discard by using an ether vial set to 2 to, on their draw step, put into play a kite sail freebooter.
Yes,
Do you know what is nasty AF?
that.
Is instant speed discard when you're trying to top deck.
Yeah. That is super
Disgusting.
mean. It's true. Meddling Mage also very, very mean.
There is a point at which it was 3 copies against Tron. And it was just like, Tron only has 3 relevant spells that it can resolve in the first place.
You can't be mad that it was Meddling Maging Tron. Tron is so unfair. How can you be mad?
I think that humans is a more frustrating deck to play against than Tron.
Which one is more unfair? Answer the question.
Do you know what does unfair even mean though? What does unfair mean?
It means abusing something in Magic to get like something out of it that you weren't supposed to get out of it.
Okay, but like Ether Vial is a card that lets you literally cast cards for free.
That's true.
Right? And it's just that I think like Ether Vial has an appropriate downside, which is that sometimes you have an opening hand that has 2 of them and like or like you draw one later
late
in your
and
game
it's
and it's like
worthless.
it sucks.
Yeah.
And like Tron has the downside of that like I watched Alexander Hayne miss top decks for like 20 turns.
Yeah, that did happen.
And that's the thing, like, right? I think that they both have their appropriate downsides.
The thing that I noticed too is a lot of people assuming that the London Mulligan was going to be this enormous game changer, not only both coming into the weekend, but inside the matchups that we saw in the top 8 and in feature match area. When in the end, the honest truth is mulliganing sucks, even if you're doing it with the London Mulligan.
Oh, that's so true.
And decks even like Tron that can have, natural Tron and opening hands now, thanks a lot easier. I think it was like 70% of the time if you're willing to mulligan into Oblivion, said Frank Karsten. Like, it still sometimes is not enough.
Yeah.
Like, you can have that, but you also need a payoff, and you also need your payoff to stick, and you also need to be able, whatever.
You need to not have it like be discarded out of your hand.
Yeah. So
yeah.
there you go. Like, it didn't really seem. I mean, I didn't play in the tournament, but it didn't seem to be the most broken thing that had ever existed.
No, it certainly didn't. Do you know what was really interesting that no one talked about because like only like 4 people were playing it, slightly more than 4. But Ad Nauseam,
Yes.
which was at 8 people, I want to say, had something like a 60+% win percentage,
I believe it.
which is absurd.
Because it doesn't fall to graveyard hate.
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of people were ready. And we saw a couple of rest in pieces played in the main deck.
Wow, rude.
In the feature match area because people were ready for Dredge. They were ready for it. They were really scared of it. And I guess maybe they should have been. But Ad Nauseam,
Well, I mean,
It's like, I don't care.
Like Dredge did not make it into the top 8 at
no,
all.
it didn't.
Is it Phoenix? Only a single copy.
Single
And
copy?
do you know what? That deck does not look good against humans. Watching that top, like,
It
it was
seemed rough.
Javier.
It seemed rough.
Javier Dominguez playing against Eli or no?
Um,
Or against the other humans player.
my gosh, I don't remember.
Anyways, point is, like, I was just watching that match and it's just like, this does not look good. Javier is obviously an excellent player.
Oh, he's so good. It's
Like
dumb.
Second in World one year, and then comes back and
Then
gets
he wins
first
it,
the next.
and then he's
it's
like,
just
"Oh, I top 8 this."
You're,
World
yeah,
Tour."
you're like watching it, and you're just like, this looks terrible.
Yeah, I don't know.
How are 4 copies of a 3-2 bird ever supposed to beat?
Just not good enough.
It's just not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, it can easily go the other way. Like Thing in the Ice being able to flip and send all the humans packing, like that is
That's
something
true.
that can happen. But like, it didn't look good in the top 8. I'll say
No.
that. And it wasn't the lock that a lot of people thought Affinity was gonna just take down humans no problem, and that didn't happen
so
either.
true. That was satisfying.
Sometimes Affinity's draws are also not good. That's just a fact of life.
Also, I think even when Affinity's draws are good, like sure it can like barf all its creatures out, but like there's still always X ones.
Yeah.
Right, even if with the cranial plating on.
Hashtag is it Staticaster?
Exactly.
We saw that happening.
Got some work.
It
done.
did some hard work.
That's right.
But yes,
Anyways.
so we actually started talking a lot about modern in that segment.
I mean, it was fun.
It was fun. Like modern.
I mean, don't have it planned to talk about it later.
No. It's just like it's
No.
just a super
Yeah.
fun
No.
format that sometimes is super dice rolly, super coin flippy. But you know what? Sometimes that's all you want out of a game of Magic.
Exactly.
And if you get a couple of like excellent games in the weekend, you're like fine with it. You're playing your fun,
And, like, decks
your
do
favorite
fun
deck.
things.
You're doing a fun thing, and then you lose a couple. And
Also, some people
that's
did argue
modern.
that like some cards and some decks specifically got a lot better with this. There was open deck lists
Yes.
at this tournament, which meant that everyone knew your main deck going in.
Yeah, and your sideboard cards.
And your sideboard cards, but not the number of sideboard
Correct.
like of each sideboard
Yeah.
card. Anyways, and I just think Meddling Mage gets a lot better when you can look at your opponent's deck and
Absolutely,
be
it does.
like, this is the one card that's very bad for me.
Yeah, you don't even have to freebooter them first.
Exactly.
You're just like, I already know what's in
I
your
know
deck.
your deck.
Boop, name it.
Ouch.
Yeah, that is 100% true. So humans
Yes.
gets a boost there with that. We saw a couple of fun new decks. I did a segment with Frank Karsten where he pilled out a few of them that are pretty fun, including this one deck he called Electro Balance.
Yeah.
And it had Electro Dominance and Balance, where it is possible on turn 1 or 2 to make both players discard all of their cards and just top deck for the rest of the game.
Why is that something that you want to...
You don't want to do it. I'll be clear. You don't want to do it unless you're just messing around and you're just like, this would be a fun, evil thing to do.
Or unless you've suspended an Ancestral Vision.
Ooh, there you go.
All right.
That would have to be a little later, but yes.
What?
But,
You suspended on turn 1, and then on turn 2 you Electro Dominance balance everyone?
oh yeah, I suppose you could do
That's
that.
real
That
good.
seems good.
Anyways.
So yeah, there's some fun, weird stuff out there like that, like
Have you seen
Red
the
Eldrazi.
reports of a turn 1 modern deck?
Yes, I have.
It is pretty spicy. It uses Neoform, which is a new War of the Spark card.
Ooh, okay.
Which is a blue-green, and you sacrifice a creature, and you go and get a creature that is like 1 more.
Yeah.
And then it has something. It has like the 7 mana Dino thing.
Yeah.
That
That
instead
giant
of
Finale of Devastation.
no,
Not
the
that
Dino.
one?
It's like Allosaurus or something.
Oh,
like that.
I was thinking of that. Yeah, because there's a dinosaur on it.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of an actual Dino.
Okay.
Anyways, and like you can exile 2 green cards from your hand instead of paying its mana cost.
Okay.
So that it's like as long as on your turn you have some card that you can like exile from your hand at the beginning of the game to add a green mana. And then like a land, and then you Neoform, and then you get this, and then you Summoner's Pact for the Allosaurus, and then you cast it by exiling cards from your hand, and then you Neoform it into a Gristlebrand
Sick.
on turn 1.
Speaking of Gristlebrand, nowhere to be seen,
Literally 0 copies.
which is weird because that's a combo deck, and you're like, oh, this is going to be combo friendly doing the London Mulligan.
People must have thought that it just wasn't good enough.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. Bizarre, but that's the way the cookie crumbled. There were 3 humans in the top 8. There was 2 Tron. There was 1. Is it Phoenix?
Technically,
There were 8.
There were 8.
Well, as
or
far as
11
we
humans.
know. And Titan Shift, which is a deck you have played before in tournaments.
That
And
was
Affinity.
Tien win.
Yeah.
who said that he's played over 10,000 games
Unbelievable.
with that deck.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's his modern deck.
I love
He
that.
knows it inside and out.
10,000 games.
10,000.
He said he was locked in on that deck for this tournament in 2014.
Yeah.
He's never played anything else. He's like, Eldrazi Winter came around. Nope, still played Titan Shift. Don't care. And that's
Nice.
what I am about. There were 5 Boggles players in the tournament, by the way. 3 of them made day 2. So there you go.
That's a pretty good conversion rate.
And a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, Maria, Boggles is going to be so good with the London Mulligan. And I tried it out. And the truth of the matter is, it does get better. But I don't think it gets as much better as the other decks do. And Boggles lives in a format where
Boggles
other decks
is not
stumble.
happy in a Tron heavy format.
No.
That is brutal.
No, it can be a brutal matchup. It is not unwinnable, but
It's basically, but it is basically unwinnable.
if Tron can't do anything, but then again, any deck can beat Tron that's not doing its thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh,
Boggles wants fair matchups, and that is just not one.
Nope.
Wants to play against like creatures.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my quick hot take on the Slippery Boys. But it was overall a strange tournament because like all of this is kind of like formats that aren't often played / have never been played before. Like who knew who would make the top 8 and but it was very exciting because of that too.
Yeah.
Should we talk about limited?
Yes.
All right, draft.
All right.
War of the Spark draft.
Maria, what do you think?
I think it's awesome.
I do think it's really cool.
It's so fun.
It does take a long time.
Yes.
There were a record number of draws in the limited rounds.
That is accurate.
It like double.
I've never seen so many draws in the draw column on the leaderboard.
A huge number of draws. So like just be prepared. You're gonna have to make decisions. You need to make your decisions snappy. You need to push your opponent to be like, hey, we're not stalling around here.
What is this, Russia?
I was about to make the same joke.
I felt like you were gonna make it and it leapt from your brain into my mouth.
All right.
But yes, you're right. It can take a long time because there's planeswalkers on the battlefield now, and you have to decide: are you going to attack those planeswalkers? Do you care about those planeswalkers? Are you going to smash face? Should you play your own planeswalkers? Do you need to play blockers first? What are you? What are you even doing with your life?
Should you even protect your planeswalkers? Should you even attack their planeswalkers?
Should you put an extra counter on this planeswalker or on your creature?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
The answer is I don't know.
Yeah, it's complicated.
The answer is it's complicated.
But that means it's really fun.
It's super fun.
Lots of tough decisions.
Say, I saw a lot of pros drafting blue black.
Yeah.
And doing very well with it on day one.
The 3-0 drafters, I think there were 12 3-0s in Demir. Yeah. And the next highest was Izzet with 9.
Yeah.
So use that information how you will.
That's pretty telling.
Yeah, I think so.
And I've definitely felt, this is no mark of if it's actually good. I felt drawn to blue black, but what's frickin' new?
Demir had its cold, tight grasp on your throat.
Wow.
Demir, jeez. But I saw a couple of people draft 5-color.
Yeah.
And they both 3-0'd.
Yeah.
And that would be...
that was pretty cool.
Alexander Hayne, who ended up in the top 8, and Yuya Watanabe, who would have ended up in the top 8.
We did not talk about this.
No, we didn't.
One of the stories of the weekend, unfortunately, was Yuya's disqualification.
Yeah, what a shock.
We know a lot of people who are like feeling
devastated,
really, really wrecked by this.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. He's in the Magic Pro League.
Yes.
Beloved by the Magic community, I would say.
I don't think that is saying it too strongly. I think that there are still, for a lot of people, a lot of questions.
Yes.
Before anyone will feel any sort of
satisfied
closure.
Or closure
exactly
or
about what is happening. And I hope that we'll get more news in the coming weeks because it really is just like,
Yeah. What happened, in case you don't know, is that he was disqualified for having marked sleeves, which was specifically the Tron lands in his Tron Modern deck.
Each one had a different marking.
Each Urza's Mine Tower and what's the other frickin' place?
Power plant.
Urza's Bedchamber.
Wow. What?
Just kidding.
Urza's Fortress.
Urza's Toilet.
Urza's Throw Rug.
Urza's Sock Drawer. That would be a great unset card.
Urza's Messy Kitchen Cabinet.
Speaking of, we haven't said why we're in this kitchen.
Oh, it's because we're in London.
We're in London.
I figure everyone figured it out.
This is our new cooking show.
Yeah.
Hello, would you watch it?
Are those knives over there in frame? Because they're spooky.
I hope they are.
I hope so.
But yeah, it was pretty sad. And Yeah, so a lot of people are like asking to see the sleeves in question.
And in case you, like I, were wondering,
Yeah.
like why would that be significant? Or like how is that actually
Sure,
helpful? You're like,
sure.
oh, the lands are like marked or whatever.
Who cares?
Is that a actually helpful thing? It definitely helps when you are, for instance, deciding on a mulligan.
Yep.
Knowing what kind of, like, if you have a land coming up
and
next.
specifically which kind.
And specifically which kind.
Yeah.
And also, if you've kept a hand and you have something like that, a shuffle effect of any kind, a Sylvan Scrying and Ancient Stirrings, or like a look or a shuffle, that you know, like if you have a Sylvan Scrying but you know you're going to draw a Tron land, well, you're not going to cast it.
Yeah.
Because you want to just naturally draw that.
Exactly. And so the judges released a statement that said that there was only a 1% chance that this could have happened unnaturally, just through the state of playing the game. So they're 99% sure that this was deliberate. And while this is like super hard and shocking to believe, even for me, like who hasn't even like known of you that long or whatever, if a judge says that to me, that makes me pretty dang sure they know what they're talking about.
Yep. It's super rough because you're caught between like sets of people that you're like, I really respect this person.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So there you go.
Life is difficult.
That was a rough moment. But War of the Spark draft, which was what we were on before we got derailed.
On to a lighter topic.
Super fun. I love drafting planeswalkers. I had 3 in a deck.
Yeah.
The other night I had Sarkin, who is just stupid and super fun.
Yeah.
Makes all your planeswalkers into 4/4 flying dragons.
Yeah.
Like that's super cool.
Yeah.
I love the static abilities. You've got to remember that they're there.
Ooh, I got to cast a Eugene.
You cast a Eugene?
A Eugene was great.
Oh, excellent.
Eugene makes you a little 2/2. That's a card off the top of your deck.
Like a morph.
Yeah, but then when that creature dies,
Yeah.
it just goes to your hand.
Sick.
Really
That's
good.
some value, Eugene. Good work.
It really is.
Good work being Bolus's twin.
Yes.
So
Secret ghost twin.
We've only done like
Spirit
2
twin.
drafts. So like this is
I
hard
think
for
I've
me.
done 3. I think 2 of them I was blue black, and the third one I was trying really hard not to draft blue black, and then my deck was bad. Do you know what I did get to see? I watched Jean-Emmanuel Deprat draft Charmed Stray.
Oh, that's right.
4 copies and then 3 copies of Johnny's Pride Mate.
That's awesome.
Which is really what did it.
Get your lifelink on.
I saw
with
him
those
keep
kitty cats.
I saw him keep an opening 7 that was 3 copies of Charmed Stray, a land, and a Johnny's Pride Mate, and then like 2 other whatever.
Great.
2 other spells, and his first draw was a forest, and it was just like
that's all you need.
It's so good. It's so good. Kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat.
And all he need, and he 2-1 that draft. So like, that deck is real.
Exactly. So my understanding of that, and I know that someone else on day 1 3-0'd it.
Oh, they did
with Charmed Stray.
With Charmed Stray.
That was Andrew Tenjum.
Draft with your cats. Get your cats out.
Cats.
We're the cats.
We're the cats. Anyways.
That's a joke from our stream. So check out twitch.tv/GLHF Magic if you want some more fun times like that.
Oh, yeah, man.
But yes, I am super stoked about this format. I think it's awesome. I think it's sweet. I want to draft it more. I played a little bit of Sealed on Arena, and I just put lots of good cards in my deck, and it was fine.
Yeah. Seems kind of like what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I think so.
Put good cards in your deck.
And that's always a format that people like.
Yeah.
So there you go. Those are our thoughts on the Mythic Championship that happened this past weekend. Congrats once again to the winner, Eli Loveman, California boy. And those humans.
California boys.
Wow, I haven't thought about that song for so long.
Same. Wow. She's had a long career since then.
That's true. Many different hairstyles.
Oh, yeah. Anyways.
Hey, everybody, it's time for some Flavor Text Theater World Spark Style.
That's right. I'm excited.
Okay.
You hear this?
Yeah,
you hear this pack?
I do. We're going to do some ASMR pack opening for you now. So get your headphones on and listen up. So we're cracking a pack of 4. It sounds really good.
ASMR if you're talking
I'm
during
sorry,
it,
but
Maria.
it sounds really good. And what we're going to... Oh my God. I can't do it. It's too weird. What we're gonna do is pick these cards up and pitch you movies or TV shows based on the title, or somehow if we're inspired by the art on the card. We've been in the wrong kind of podcast this whole time. So if you're in the movie biz and you wanna get in on these sweet movies, call us. We've got some. Okay, so I'm going to pitch you a movie right now.
Okay.
This is a cartoon. Think Rainbow Bright, because I loved that show back in the day. And what happens is that there's a horse on a horse farm. And its parents were big racing horses, and they made a lot of money for this horse farm.
Okay.
And this baby horse, it's a pony. That's the word for it. No, that's a different kind of horse.
Yeah, that's a short horse.
This is a normal horse, but it's a baby horse. A foal? I don't know.
A foal is a really one. That's a really little one.
What's a medium? What's a teenager horse called?
Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a girl.
It's a filly.
A filly. This filly wants to be a racer like mom and dad, winning the big bucks. But she jumps over a log and breaks her leg.
Ponies aren't just short horses. They're different. They're different all together.
That's true.
Anyways, keep going.
And
she breaks her leg.
She breaks her leg, and this is a cartoon that was made in 1982. So the farmer is gonna shoot her.
Yep, of course.
Because that's how cartoons were back then.
That's how those shows went back then. They were dark.
They were dark. But what happens is a little girl comes in and saves her from her fate, and is able to take her away into the woods and hide her and cares for her. And while the filly is hidden in the woods, a fairy horse mother appears and grants it one wish. And the horse says, I want to be fast like my mom and dad. And the fairy horse mother grows it wings. So not she doesn't fix a leg or whatever. But it now can fly, and it still has kind of a broken leg, but it can fly and soar over the clouds. And the little girl rides it around, and they become best friends and have lots of adventures together. It's a cartoon series.
I'm making this cartoon.
It's called Trusted Pegasus. I just dropped it on the floor.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, Trusted Pegasus.
Okay. Mine is about a very wealthy woman in sort of the 17 or 1800s.
I'm in.
We're thinking around the time of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Okay.
Right, and she lives in this giant house in the middle of a forest. And there's several towns nearby and everything. And even in the city, there's rumors of this person that if you are a young woman who has been wronged in some way, and your wrong has not, whoever did it has not been brought to justice, you can go to some mystical place in the woods.
Cool. So many woods shows today.
So many woods shows. And it will be, there is a force out there that will help you take care of it.
Oh,
of
sick.
Whatever happened, whoever this person was that wronged you. And it is, of course, this woman who weaves some very elaborate traps for all of the men who have wronged these women in various ways. It is called Snare Spinner.
Great. I'd watch it. My next film is an Oscar bait drama. And it's set during World War II. And there's a pair of twins, because I have to make it weird right off the bat. There's a pair of twins, and one has some kind of medical issue, and so he can't go to war, and the other goes off to war, and he's fighting overseas in Europe. And at some point, the twins have this psychic connection, and when there's a high emotional trauma, they swap bodies.
What?
Do you know what I mean? The one twin who was sick at home finds himself in the middle of the war, and the one who is in the middle of the war is suddenly back at home with the other guy's wife and family.
Wow.
But secretly, the other twin had really loved that guy's wife and whatever. So
Whoa, messed up.
It's super messed up because she doesn't super know, and he's oh my God, I'm conflicted, but I love her and I always did, but she chose my twin brother.
No.
And the twin brother who is sick is no, I'm now in my brother's spot and I'm home, but I don't know how to get back.
He's the villain.
Yeah. So what do you mean?
The man who's going to just stay at home with his brother's wife is the villain of this story.
But he's not 100% in.
He's a villain.
But he's mostly in.
He's a villain. He's a bad man.
He's a bad man. And the other one has to fight to get back home and convince his wife and family that he was body swapped with his twin, while the other one is living his life. It's called Casualties of War.
Ooh. Wow.
That's super dark.
That is super dark.
It took turns I wasn't expecting, but
really,
there we
same.
go.
Same.
It's Jude Law and somebody else.
Okay, so in this movie, it turns out that the Grim Reaper has always had a faithful dog by his side.
Great.
Who has always, kept him company because it's a dark job. It's a grim job,
yeah,
if you will.
You need some friends.
And then it turns out that one day, like, the dog chases after, like a cat that's being bad or something.
Ooh.
And gets lost. The Grim Reaper loses his dog and he can't find him. And the dog is so distraught and doesn't know what to do. And it's just a dog, so it starts accidentally also, like, reaping souls. As a way of trying to get back to the Grim Reaper.
Whoops, I reaped a soul today.
It's person.
I reaped a soul. Sorry.
Until eventually they are reunited in their grim jobs. It is Banehound.
Banehound, too many eyes.
Banehound, too many eyes.
This film is like set in hell, and what happens is there is like a hell demon hanging out down in hell, and their job is to eat the sins of the people who come down to kind of cleanse them on their way up as they're cleansed and get to go back up to heaven. So it's a very dark, terrible job because he is like the giver, except everything that he's being given is awful, and he has to just suck it down.
That's rough.
And deal with it.
Ow.
Until one day he sucks down someone's sins, and there's probably a better way to pitch this. They're saying this, he sucked down someone's sins. He's sucking down on a hot sin, and what happens is he finds himself, once again, I'm with body swapping, because in this case, what I want to say is he sucks down the sin and he finds himself in that person's life the second before the decision is made to commit the murder or whatever this person did that
it was
is bad,
really bad.
that he needs to now decide if he wants to keep doing or if he wants a second chance at life, essentially, because he's been living at a hell demon for so long that maybe if he chooses not to murder, he can start over again.
Ooh, what will he choose?
Devouring hellion.
Ah.
Sucking sins or being not a murderer.
All right. This one is about a guy who's like one of those who's a fire spinner,
Yeah.
Anyways, loves fire spinning. Does it at all sorts of
Are
fire
you talking
spinning
is this
events.
like a real world thing people do?
Yeah.
Do you mean?
Yeah.
Spinning fire?
When they have like the long thing and there's fire at the end of it and they spin it. And then there's like, they have two of them.
Like
and it's one on each hand. No. But jugglers, it could be a person who juggles fire,
Okay,
but it's not.
I think I know what you're talking
You
about.
know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
a fire twirler.
Fire twirler.
A fire spinner. Anyways. Point is, it's one of those people that has like the long things and they spin fire at the end of it.
Got it.
But he like messes up one night and loses an eye.
Oh no.
Loses an eye fire spinning, and so he goes on a crusade and says, "Do you know what? We don't have to do this with fire. We can do this with something else instead and make it better." It's called Chain Whip Cyclops.
Great.
That's
Well,
it.
I have a similar story over here, actually. And this
Okay.
one is about an electrician. And he's like kind of like one of those electricians who's super grumpy going around fixing people's houses, but he doesn't love his job, but he's very good at it. He's very smart, but he's kind of an a-hole. And so one day he gets electrocuted and electrocutes his eye out. But every other part of him is fine.
He electrocutes his eye out?
Yeah, did your mom ever say, don't put your finger in the toaster, you'll
It'll
electrocute your eye out.
All right.
Yeah. But what he finds is he gets a special power of currents. He can, there's some superhero who can control electricity. Who is it? BJ, do you know the superhero who can control electricity?
There's the villain from Supergirl.
There is a movie about this. I can't think of who it is. Sorry.
Who's made of electricity.
Yeah.
But also look up the Supergirl villain.
But that's basically this story, except they have one eye that they lost to electricity, and the other eye only sees the world in electricity. So even like the metaphorical electricity, between people, but also in buildings and stuff. So they have a hard time navigating the world after in Cyclops. Oh, Cyclops Electromancer is the name of the movie.
Right.
But I'm not. The other card I pulled was Angrath, Captain of Chaos, and that's just a story about Angrath, which I would watch.
Yeah, same. Okay, this one is the story of like, it's like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And we're following a band, like a rock band from the 80s. That was
Sick.
just like, they were hot. They were the best thing, right?
All right.
They were basically the Rolling Stones
Wow.
or Journey or Def Leppard or Twisted Sister.
Nice.
I'm going to keep going. Anyways,
Keep it coming.
Dream. They were Heart. Anyway, what was I talking about?
We're following this band.
Okay, we're following this band, except now obviously they are all washed up and they're just having a hard time putting it together.
Yeah.
They're like, they wouldn't do any reunion tours for a long time because there were like feuds between them, eventually.
Yeah. Classic 80s feuds.
But then one of them wakes up one day and just looks at his life and is just like, this is terrible. Like, this is a mess.
No.
What have I done? And he realizes that he hasn't played music in like years.
Yeah.
Because he like lost the passion for it without his band. And so the first thing he has to do is, it was his brother was one of the other members of the band.
Yeah.
And he has to go and he like has to mend fences with his brothers. And then it's like getting the band back together.
Oh,
and they have
cute.
to try and find a way to be popular. Right? Think of it as like the background is like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC are like the hot thing right now. And it's all these like grizzled 80s rockers being like,
it's the Space
what
Cowboys.
can we do? And it's called Band Together.
This is very literal.
Yes.
But
Band
also
together.
Band together. Oh, that's cute. I like
Right?
that. I would probably watch that. Tommy Lee Jones is in it. My next movie is about the perfume company Chanel in the future. And they develop a perfume scent that's like, that when you use it, it gives you power over anybody in a certain way. It's like Love Potion number 9 situation. And what happens is that it gets out into the public and it starts wreaking havoc, and people are upending governments, and everything is complete chaos. And there's a few people in the world who can't smell, and so they are unaffected. And they are now the superheroes that have to fight back against this horrible plague, essentially, that's sweeping over humanity in this new thriller called Crush Descent. I gotcha.
Crush Descent.
I got you.
No. Okay, here's my last one.
Okay, give it to me.
Okay, this is one where this is also a war film.
Okay.
Except that it's sort of like a futuristic war, right? And on both sides of the battle, it's not like humans versus robots, but it's like humans and robots fight together on both sides.
Yeah.
And there's robots, and then there's people who are like part human, part robot. And that's also been the thing with like, instead of like war horses or things like that, it's like things that are like half horse, half machine, half dog, half machine. And it's one of the generals on the battlefield, and she's been mortally wounded.
Yeah.
And she thinks she's been mortally wounded, and she's like delirious. And she's dying, and like she realizes right beforehand that she like needs to pass her command on to someone else, and she sees what she thinks is like a person in the hazy distance that she trusts, and she says it's them. Like, okay, this is it, you're the general in charge now. And then she wakes up in a hospital a year later, and it turns out that the person she thought she promoted was just a robot dog.
Has this ever happened to you?
Is a robot dog who's better at it than anyone ever guessed. I'm so tired.
It's like an Airbud.
It's like Airbud. It's called Battlefield Promotion. There's no rule that says dogs can't be generals.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, my last one is a foreign language film.
Okay.
I've decided, and it's in Japan.
Okay.
And there's a woman who lives in an apartment. It's very barren, and this is like an indie movie, okay? And very sad. There's nothing there. She has no life. She has no friends. She has nothing. She just goes to her job. It's very boring. She comes home. She eats. She goes to bed. But what we find out is she has a special power. Ooh. What she'll do at night is sneak into other people's houses.
That's not a power. That's a misdemeanor at best.
Not done. She sneaks into people's houses and she finds like their cherished like heirlooms or treasures that they keep in their house.
Oh, so it's theft.
No, that's not. No. And she takes one of them, which yes is continuing the theme here. and brings it back to her house where she sits it in the middle of her empty, barren house floor and she holds on to it. And what happens is she relives either the best or the worst day in that person's life.
You're doing so much body swapping.
I know I am. This is my third body swap.
You body swapped right now?
I think I might be body swapped right now.
Wow.
I'm trying to tell you all something.
Maria been body swapped.
But she body swap, and but she doesn't know. It might be a horrible decision, or it might be a great memory that she relives. But no matter what, after the day is done, she goes back to her normal life of which she has nothing, which I think is.
Why doesn't she put her life together and have things in her life?
Because maybe she will by the end. Maybe in the end of the last one, she realizes that she wants what the person had or something like that.
She has to go
anyway,
and get it.
Dusk Mantle Operative.
Because they're on the mantle.
Because they're on the mantle.
Oh, boy. All right. Before we go, Ultra Pro. Hey, have you ever traveled to a foreign country and been like, I wish that I had a really great deck box to keep all of these cards safe?
I have.
Ultra Pro.
It happened to me recently, but I didn't despair because I literally had my Ultra Pro box with me.
Yes.
Have fish it out?
Yeah.
BJ.
Yeah.
Fish it out.
Ah!
There it is.
Wait, this isn't even that this is a different Ultra Pro box. Have you ever been like, I need some really cute tokens to pass on to my friends, and then you gave your friends cute tokens in a box?
Yeah, there you go.
BT dubs.
It's the perfect
Thanks
size.
to Hayward Stardust for these cute tokens. In this cute
we
box.
did get them. Okay.
Yes.
I told her on Twitter
That wasn't just
didn't.
a hypothetical. That wasn't a hypothetical.
Oh, okay.
I didn't tell you?
No.
Well, this has also been a story about making sure you communicate with your friends about what did and did not happen.
I'm going to message her now and tell her we did in fact get the tokens.
Well, this is a shout out to her.
Yeah, a shout out to her.
And also Ultra Pro. Anyways, Ultra Pro, where you can go to get boxes to put tokens that one person will keep and not tell someone else about.
You can also just get a really sweet Seb McKinnon play mat. Well, everybody, that is our show for this wonderful episode of Good Luck High Five. Thanks for coming along on the ride as always.
Yeah.
Live from London. Next week, we're going to have Meghan taking the reins.
Yes, I am. What's going to happen?
Nobody knows.
Who knows?
Who could say?
Will I really just mess it all up good? Only time will tell.
But yeah, it'll be a special guest host with Meghan.
Will it just be an hour of ASMR pack opening?
I mean, you're going to have to tune in.
You're going to have to
subscribe.
tune in to find out.
But thank you once again to everyone who supports the show on patreon.com/GLHF Magic. Thank you to Card Kingdom and Ultra Pro, our other sponsors. I'm going to stop slapping this counter right now.
Yes.
And you know what? Check out our other show, The Upkeep, if you need your magic news, because we've taken that out of this show and put it into its own show because we want it to have its own chance to shine.
So if you were like, what else happened this past weekend?
Yeah.
Oh boy, we really unload a lot of news onto your plate.
There was a lot of news
and
this
then
week.
you have to eat it.
You must be a member of the Clean Play Club.
You must eat it.
You must.
You must.
But what else? I don't know. Like, we have a YouTube channel, we have a Facebook page, we got Instagram, we got a Twitter.
We play magic.
We play magic. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.